Let's talk about Boeing for a minute, man. Boeing is man, dude. It's a debacle. It's just it's ridiculous. We watched John Oliver a couple weeks ago. He pretty much kicked the door down on this situation. It's terrible. They're cutting corners. They're putting people's lives at stake. They're not teaching their engineers or their pilots how to fly the planes correctly. All the problems that they're putting forth is just they've killed several people, 700 people, several. How many planes have went down because of this crap?
Right. How
I
many
mean,
emergency landings and emergency stops
man, dude,
do we have to have? And the fact that we've had at least 8 emergency stops or landings in the last 2 weeks,
it's crazy.
that's a lot.
We got tires falling off, catching fire.
Fuel
We
leaks
got fuel
midair.
leaks. We got doors coming off the hinges. I mean, we got the planes going up. They got them going down. They pressed a button. I guess a hostess pressed the button on the pilot's seat somehow, which drove him forward, which made him hit the control panel. And a lot of people in the plane went up, hit their heads, bust their heads. I mean, the this is just disgraceful, man. Anybody else that was putting out a product like this would have been sued. But they are doing a criminal probe right now. The government is looking at them.
One for where the door came off.
I mean, if they're doing a criminal probe, it's anything they find. I would think they would go further into looking.
And then Boeing had the nerve to say, "Oh well, when we figure out once our investigation concludes and we figure out which employees it was that made these mistakes, we're going to give those employees additional training."
Nah, man, it's you cutting back for stockholders.
That's you trying to right.
And then they was outsourcing. They was outsourcing to, and getting people to do things that shouldn't have been building on the plane in the first place.
Right.
Why are you outsourcing when you have top-notch engineers at Boeing? Like, what are they doing? Like, it's ridiculous, man. And then we have the whistleblower. You know, he's with John Barnett, who was found in South Carolina with a gunshot wound.
And they trying to say that it was suicide.
Yeah, 62-year-old, and he was the Boeing whistleblower. He had previously told a family and friend not to believe what authorities would say if he was found dead. He said, "Don't believe them if they say it's suicide," and that's the first thing that comes out. I mean, we don't. It just doesn't look good, man. Boeing looks like they're just trying to cover everything up. I mean, we don't know for sure what's going on, but this is pretty crazy. I mean, police are investigating after Barnett's was discovered in a hotel car parking lot in Charleston with a single gunshot wound in the head, along with what officers described as a silver handgun and a white piece of paper that closely resembled a note. A coroner's report said he died from a self-inflicted wound. Through the Charleston Police Department is still making inquiries. After retiring in 2018, Barnett accused Boeing, his employee of 32 years, of cutting corners, which is what they're doing.
Right. We can see that in clear evidence.
It's clearly using substandard parts to build planes, exactly what they're doing. He claimed to have reported that this management had been ignored, though Boeing has denied this. When we saw on John Oliver him talking to different people that worked at Boeing, and all of them said that I wouldn't ride this plane. That means they know that it's been mismanagement and they're not listening to them.
Right. And they know that these parts are not safe. And
they know that.
They know that these planes aren't safe to ride.
The workers, the engineers are telling them that. They're telling them, "Hey man, what are y'all doing?" Just like at your job, you're trying to tell your boss, "Hey, look," and he's not listening. Because he has an upper that's telling him, "Oh, don't worry about that. The bottom dollar and our stockholders is all that matters."
Right.
And then they want to start blaming the employees after they did all this. It's crazy, man.
All the upper management that made all these decisions to cut costs and cut corners.
Man, now they gonna blame
put money in their pocket.
The little guy, blame him. The crazy part is a close family friend, her name was Jennifer, to Mr. Barnett, said that he did not commit suicide. There is no way. He loved life too much. He loved his family too much. He loved his brothers too much to put them through what they're going through right now. I think somebody didn't like what he had to say and wanted to shut him up and didn't want to come back on anyone. So that's why they made it look like a suicide.
Yeah.
She claimed he insisted, "I'm not scared," before adding, "But if anything happens to me, it's not a suicide," is what she said. And he said to her. So, I hope they fully investigate this, man. I know it's going to be hard to prove, but man, it just seemed like the timing of this,
It just doesn't add up.
it doesn't look right, man.
Being the fact that the day that he went missing, he was doing court the day that they found him dead.
Wasn't the criminal, yeah, and
He was being deposed in a lawsuit
right
for Boeing the day he was found dead.
Yeah, man. The timing just is crazy. It's scary, man. It's scary stuff, man. What Boeing is on and what's going on, and all the people's lives that they're putting in danger just to put some money in their pockets.